Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn. We're talking with the guys from the Horror Equity Fund. It's a company showcased, by the way, on crowdfunder.com, and they've had a lot of press lately about what they do in helping producers and writers get their scripts produced. That's the bottom line, is what you do, is it not?
Well, what we offer, and I'm going to blatantly tie this into health, is we potentially offer financial well-being to people who want to get into the entertainment business and investing that prior to this time, or prior to shortly, under some new laws, they haven't been able to gain access to entertainment investment. We help producers and creators of horror-centric projects get their products, their films, their shows to market. And whether that be helping to raise funds, or helping with casting, or helping with other aspects under the new laws that exist in the United States now, we're able to do something that has never been done before.
And, of course, if you go to latenighthealth.com and look under our guests' names, Marlon and Brian, you'll be able to get more information about each of them, as well as a link to Horror Equity Fund. Is it horrorequityfund.com?
Yes, it is, horrorequityfund.com. And there's an excellent, you mentioned crowdfunder. We're not Kickstarter, we're not Indiegogo, we're an equity investment platform. So this is for people who want to get an actual piece of a movie or a piece of several movies, and the fund itself is highly diversified and and always stands on the side of the investor to mitigate risk, thus trying to bring financial stability and
financial health
to the investors.
And financial health to the investor. When my daughter was a little girl, and my wife was pregnant with our son, we went to a county fair, really a country fair, and my daughter wanted to go on a Ferris wheel, and we got on the Ferris wheel. This is just to show you what kind of guy I am, and we're at the top. And she turns to me, and she was maybe 4.5 years old, and said, "Daddy, want to hold hands because I'll protect you?" So, yeah, it was really cute. I have to remind her of that because it just hit my brain. We people like to go on wild rides. We want that death thrill experience. Mm-hmm. Is that what watching a horror film is all about?
Yeah, one of the things that happens when you get on a roller coaster, you get on a ride, is you have a safe way of facing death. Your body goes through that experience of the adrenaline, that fight or flight experience that I mentioned earlier, but it's safe. And the same is true when you get on a Ferris wheel. You get on your mind says, this is something I don't want to experience, but I go through it, I survive. And that's why I think that idea.
How often do we get frightened in everyday life, let's say by a loved one at the home, jumps out behind a door, or during Halloween or anything like that, and the initial reaction of fright and, oh my God, is followed by terrific laughter. And that's a clear sign that the body is feeling good about having survived that moment of panic, that moment of horror. And I think that is exactly what a well-designed movie will do. It's a roller coaster, so to speak, just to keep the ride metaphor going. It's a roller coaster of emotions. That's why you turn pages of a book quicker, perhaps, when you're reading, or maybe a little bit slower, because your body is anticipating a fright, but then you have a safe release, as Brian mentioned.
And the other thing, of course, is that Ferris wheels really are not that scary, except to people like me.
Exactly.
Well, Ferris wheels are inherently scary because a very basic, from birth, fear that we all have as humans is fear of heights. Everyone,
It's true. That is
it's
true.
actually the fear of not being at height anymore. That you start at height
Right.
and then you end up falling.
I wouldn't know being height challenged myself. We only have a moment or two left, and that is, there have been recent studies that show that a certain percentage of the population cannot distinguish between reality and watching the movie. So they see somebody taking a gun into a school and blowing people away, even though they're zombies, they may do that themselves. How do you mitigate that?
Well, I think unfortunately in our society. Go ahead, Marlon. You were to say?
I'm saying we're not doctors, we're not therapists. I think that there's humans want to find reasons for things, and we want to find patterns of things. And I don't think Brian and I, or at least I'm not qualified to comment on whether or not horror movies can exacerbate something that's already in someone. But Brian, I think you were about to say something also.
We only have 10 seconds.
Okay, well, quickly. In every segment of society, there are going to be people that are mentally ill and have a skewed version of reality, and it's not. Unfortunately,
gentlemen, I've got to interrupt you. I really appreciate your time today. Go to horrorequityfund.com, horrorequityfund.com, or go to latenighthealth.com. You'll learn more about the financial health that you can accomplish by taking a look at investment with this company. I'm Mark Alyn. Late Night Health continues. Don't go away. More coming up.
Late Night Health with Mark Alyn will continue in a moment.